Welcome back to the Missed Out Podcast. I'm joined here today with Jordan Ward and Braden Spencer.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Today's episode is a special about the Alchemist book. And today we'll be talking about what the meaning of a work is as a whole is. What do you think it is, Jordan?
I personally think that you need to go through trials and tribulations to accomplish your goals throughout life. You can't accomplish your goals if you don't have roadblocks or some hiccups throughout the way, and you don't go through hardships.
It's a good thought.
What do you think about?
I like it. It reminds me of DJ Khaled a lot.
Roadblocks.
All I do is win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it works a lot. And I think what really sets it off from a side is a quote from the beginning. Everyone seems to have a clear idea of how people should lead their lives, but none about his or her own. And I really thought that quote kind of kick-started the whole story with this boy who just doesn't know where he's going in life, what he's doing, his own goals, but he gets his own purpose with an interaction through God, and I just feel it's just a way to set off the work as a meaning as a whole. You have any inputs?
That's a pretty awesome quote. I really like multiple quotes. One of my quotes, especially from the beginning of the book, is treasure is uncovered by the forces of flowing water and is buried by the same currents. Personally, me, I think this quote means your goals are accomplished through your ambitions and you trying really hard throughout your journey to accomplish those goals. And those same ambitions will cover for somebody else in the future. And I think it's a great quote throughout the book, and it really represents the book as a whole. I just really like it. Do you have anything to say?
Oh yeah, that's a really good thought, Jordan. Now, my quote from the beginning of the book as well, he never realized that people are capable at any time in their lives of doing what they dream of. Now, I think this quote means that people don't realize what they're capable of doing until they've lived their life and gone through those experiences, and then once you've gone through all the trials and tribulations, that's when you're capable and you realize you're capable of doing what you dream of.
That's very nice. That's very nice, Braden.
Thank you.
To go further on what I said earlier, in the middle of the story, there was a quote. It was as if the world had fallen silent because the boy's soul has. And I think in this point of the story, I think this is the hardest time, the lowest point this kid has ever reached in his life, and the only way to go is up. And it kind of just further points the meaning of a work as a whole. What about you?
It's pretty awesome. I really like the middle of the book. I think my favorite part of the middle of the book is where it says there was an entire desert between him and the pyramids, and this really just contrasts and shows how much of his journey he has to go to find his goal. And throughout anybody in life, you need to go through a very long, it might be a short journey or a very long journey. Doesn't matter what it is, it's still going to be a journey that you have to go through to figure out your goal and get to your goal and reach your job to get to it. And getting to the pyramids was part of that. So it was very long distance between him and the pyramids, and a very long goal and a very long dream, and very, very far aspirations. So, do you have anything to say, Braden?
Yeah, that's a really good thought, Jordan. I like that. And then adding on to that, my quote from the middle of the book is, "You must love the desert, but never trust it completely, because the desert tests all men. It challenges every step and kills those who become distracted." Now, to me, this quote means that we're tested throughout our lives, and if we can make it past the test, then we'll be better off and we'll be more experienced and able. But if we're not able to get past the test of life, then we're just going to be picked off and we're not going to make it. So really, it's just about getting past that test.
I really like that, and I really appreciate that. Another thing that I would like to add is to listen to your heart. It knows all things because it came from the soul of the world, and one day it will return there.
Yeah.
And I think it goes forward with the meaning of the work as a whole is that we can only direct our own path.
Yeah, that's right.
That we can get help, but it is ultimately us in the main run that will get ourselves forward and go and progress.
I like that.
Thank you.
That was very deep, and I really enjoyed that. I think my favorite part and my favorite quote from the end of the book is, "If I had told you, you wouldn't have seen the pyramids. If I had told you, you wouldn't have seen the pyramids. They are beautiful, aren't they?" And this just shows that if you don't go through your journey and you don't have basically what it meant is that if he hadn't gone through his entire journey and seen the pyramids and seen everything, then he wouldn't have been able to take everything in. And if he just had known that the treasure was at his house the entire time, then it wouldn't have been as deep and impactful and as meaningful as everything he saw throughout his journey.
Yeah.
And one of the main things was the pyramids and how beautiful they were. And it really shows the great achievement of it. It gives you a bigger self-accomplishment that you did that and you saw that and you were there and you did all that and you didn't just get it handed to you. And I think that's really awesome and cool.
Yeah, Jordan, I really like that because, I mean, it's like you could have just had the treasure at the beginning, but since you went through the whole journey to get there, you got to experience all this stuff and you appreciate the journey once you get there. So that makes you appreciate it more in the long run.
Thank you so much, Brady.
I forgot to mention that if you're watching this now, there was a spoiler warning, but I really like.
Oh yeah.
What
Sorry.
you
Now that that's
sorry
out of
about the
way.
spoiler.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my final quote though, this is probably my favorite quote, and I think this also goes along with my last quote that I gave, and it's what you still need to know is this: before a dream is realized, the soul of the world tests everything that was learned along the way. So this goes on more about how we're tested in life, and once we go through hardship, then we'll be ready to accomplish our goals afterward. So again, like, we're tested throughout life, but from that testing and from that experience, we're able to grow and become better people.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I
really do.
Yeah, I really like that quote because, I don't know, I just feel like it really resonates with me.
Yeah,
because,
growing.
Yeah, growing through life and, like, just becoming a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better to grow.
Yeah, of course.
You have anything to say, Noah?
I do. One of my favorite quotes is that, but maybe people who felt that way,
Sorry. Run it back.
But maybe people who felt that way had never learned the universal language. And I feel like that's just targeted towards people who don't, like, work towards their goals, who don't spend their time wisely, who don't, who are just lazy. And I feel like they haven't risked anything to, like, get where they want to be.
Yeah.
And it's not a healthy way to live. And you'll just end up with a sad life.
Yeah.
I don't know,
It's just
but
not
like,
what you
it's
want.
just not what you want.
No.
And
Yeah, that's good.
That's really deep.
Good,
That was really awesome, Noah.
Thank
My favorite part, I think my favorite specific part through the book was all you have to do is contemplate a simple grain of sand and you will see all the marvels of creation.
Wow.
And I believe this quote means that if you just see a grain of sand, you can picture and imagine all it's been through to be where it is now. From being a rock and being weathered down and weathered down and weathered down and being in multiple different places and going through rivers to where it is now in a desert, surrounded by millions of other grains of sand. I feel like that's very deep and impactful because it can represent you, it can represent anybody, that you're surrounded by millions of people, but you've came so far from where you used to be by growing and learning as a person and just bettering yourself. And yeah, all these grains of sand might look alike, but you don't know where they've been. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they've seen, where they came from.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very important to really take and go through life with. to understand that other people are different and they've been through stuff.
Yeah, that's really good.
That was really great, Jordan.
Yeah.
I really resonate with that, and I feel like not a lot of people understand like where people have been and where they
Yeah.
go.
It was really, really insightful and wise. Okay, so now for our final quote for today. I have the quote, the wise men understood that this natural world is only an image and a copy of paradise. The existence of this world is simply a guarantee that there exists a world that is perfect. So to me, like, this quote just means, like, if, like, the world that we know exists here, out there somewhere there has to be, like, a perfect world. So, like, take for example, like, a brown mushy banana. So it's just like, it's a banana, it's like a little overripe, like too ripe to eat, and it's just like one of those gross bananas that you normally throw away. But the existence of that banana just proves that somewhere there is a perfectly ripe banana just for you out there. Like, there is a perfect banana with no blemishes, no mushy spots. You peel it perfectly, you get the perfect shape of a banana, a nice little curved banana. So yeah, that's just what that quote means to me. No pause.
No pause, my bad.
All right.
And if you'd let me add on to that, I'd like to say there is obviously a perfect world out there somewhere, but I also feel like we can help our actions to make our world better and more perfect.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting for that banana to become too ripe to where it's unedible, we could eat it when it is ripe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a great way of looking at that.
That really just hit me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. That just hit me.
Yeah.
Wow. That was good, Noah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that insight. That's gonna carry with me for like years and years.
I think that wraps it up for us, guys.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. The Alchemist. This was The Alchemist. It was a great book.
Awesome book.
We highly encourage you to read it.
It's a great read.
Yeah,
Great read.
Great read, very insightful.
Yeah.
A lot of deep meaning throughout the book that you actually have to like read into, and it's not just surface level.
Yeah.
It's a very good book, and I do recommend it to everybody. I think we all do.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to our podcast. Our Patreon will be in the link. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
See you next episode.
Cash App.